This is the Negro Ninja, and I want to talk about season 3 of Cobra Kai. There are so many gems sprinkled within this series. It's a masterpiece, in my opinion. All right, it's a masterpiece, in my opinion. All right, first, it pretty much tells you the backstory of Kreese. Okay, how he started off as this young, optimistic young man. Okay, who was being humiliated by a douche that eventually rubs off on him. All right, he's humiliated by this douche while he's working in front of a bitch that he likes, that the douche happens to have access to, meaning that's his bitch. All right, and it escalates to the point where Kreese eventually whoops this dude's ass, and he ends up with this nigga's bitch. Okay, now the chick is acting all sympathetic towards Kreese. Okay, got the same mindset, no mercy and all this type of stuff. But that's just one person that rubbed off on him. Okay, because a lot of these things can go either way. Okay, you interacting with these people and you either learn from them or you become like them 100%. Okay, and that's basically what's happening with Kreese. It's just showing us where all these pieces is coming from. Just dish after dish after dish. Okay, it's just like that interview I was playing on this one stream to what they was interviewing this narcissist. And he was basically saying that it's a snowball effect. He treats this person bad and they treat this person bad, and and that's just how it goes. It just keeps cycling like that. All right. So Kreese was not always the evil that he is right now. All right. But despite the fact that he has learned lessons that's actually legit, okay, his way of applying them are very evil just due to how he was brought up. Okay, he eventually whoops this dude's ass, take his girl, and then he goes to the army, and he meets a sergeant that inspires him because he does karate and he's a badass. Okay, and he saw Kreese as a weakling. He's a coward, this, that, and this. All right. And that's how a lot of people really see dudes that's not, brash, okay, and that's overly calm. They'll just see you as passive and all this type of stuff. Okay, now once again, this is going to be some spoilers. All right. It's going to be some spoilers. Go and watch this on Netflix. You will not regret it. All right. Then it gets to the part where, it's giving you more insight of what Kreese went through during the Vietnam War. And he was in some very fucked up situations to where him and, his team basically have to turn against one another or they would be killed. Okay, the Vietnamese was just basically being sadistic, making them fight on a pit. And the winner, has to throw the other guy in the pit. Okay. Then eventually, Kreese has to fight his sergeant. Okay, his sergeant always telling him that he's a pushover. He needs to be more assertive and etc. This is the reason why they was even captured in the first place, because Kreese did not want to blow something up while the teammate was still there, and the sergeant was like, "Blow it up, man! Get up out of there." Kreese was like, that nigga's one of us. I need to wait till he clears." And the Vietnamese captured them and put them in the cage, and they all got to fight to the death. All right. And it eventually gets to the point to where, the Vietnamese soldiers say, "Okay, I want you two to fight." And Kreese steps in and takes this dude's place because the person who was going to fight the sergeant, and he was going to die because the sergeant ain't nothing to play with. All right, so Kreese says, "No, I got this. I got this." Okay. Now, this right here should make you wonder anyway, why would Kreese volunteer to fight the sergeant to the death? Okay, now this is what Kreese becomes the man that we know him as today. As they're walking to the pit, the sergeant is basically telling him everything that he kept from him because he didn't want that to distract him and etc. Basically telling him how he really feels about him and etc. Okay, there's no ranks in here, Kreese. It's every man for himself, So he see Kreese as a coward, but he himself is the actual coward. Because even during these circumstances, he did not, he abandoned his role as a sergeant. Okay, and just basically acting like a coward. Okay, now I understand that they are in a very weird situation where they have to fight to the death or they will all die. Okay, but the sergeant is like, yeah, man, this is over. Fuck it. You ain't shit to me anyway. All right, I'm gonna throw you over this shit and I'm gonna walk out of here alive. Okay, and he almost kills Kreese until Kreese realizes. I mean, hold up. Until he tells Kreese, you know, what happened to his girlfriend at home. Okay, like I said, I ain't gonna try to give it detail to detail because I'm spoiling enough. Okay, but he reveals something, and it basically makes Kreese sad, and he's getting furious, and it gives him the drive that he needs to survive, and he defeats his sergeant. Okay, but as this fight is going on, they get rescued, by an airstrike. Okay, and the sergeant's like, Kreese, help me up. This is over. And Kreese basically just used his words against him and says, no mercy. And he kicks him into the pit. Okay, and like I said, this goes forward, and I ain't going to really tell y'all exactly what happened. Okay, because I don't want to spoil it too much for you. I'm just going to spoil it enough to get this point across. All right, then it goes back to Cobra Kai, of today. All right. And there's a character named Hawk, who was basically humiliated all last season. Okay, he started off cool in season 1, but he was just getting his ass whooped, just humiliated left to right last season. But this is a season of redemption for Hawk. Okay, he's trying to prove himself to Kreese. Okay, and he actually did prove himself quite a bit. He was on top of the pyramid. Okay. However, he comes to realize how fickle his teammates and Kreese is himself. Okay, like for one example, they was told to go and steal something. And the people that was new did not bring the correct tools. They listened to everything except for the main thing they needed. Okay, then they recruit another dude that he was beefing with last season. And he eventually takes his glory by just doing it without the tool. And they said, well, you did that with your bare hands? Yeah. Okay, so he's the new big shot. Okay, and he's seeing what's going on. Hawk is seeing what is going on around him. He is seeing people for what they are that is in this team. Okay, first of all, they are siding with people that he doesn't even like. Because when these new people started coming, he told Kreese that these are not Cobra Kai material. They're not Cobra Kai material. And one of the main reasons why they were not Cobra Kai material, according to Hawk, is because some of them used to bully him at one point. Okay, but he got revenge on him. Let's say that. I'm not going to say how. You got to see it. Okay, but how would you feel you getting bullied by motherfuckers? Okay, you go somewhere that teaches you how to deal with these motherfuckers and you crush them, only for them to recruit them while they are still as shitty as they was when you crushed them. How does that feel? This is not like, okay, God delivering you from your enemies and have you defeat your enemies and you cleanse your enemies in the process and they're a completely different person and you're on the same team. That's not the same thing. Okay, these people are becoming more powerful while still being wicked. So he's looking at Kreese like this. And that was one of the first realizations, okay, out of many that he has throughout the season. But I'm not going to say too much after that. But he just come to realize these motherfuckers don't give a damn about nothing other than whoever's new. Okay, there is no loyalty. As much as they try to preach loyalty, okay, how this is supposed to be a family. Okay, and like when you look at the way he does things, when you look at the way the sensei does things, not Johnny, by the way, but Kreese, okay, you realize it's just, it's a foundation built on lies. Because if they do one little thing that he doesn't like, they're up out of there. There is no tolerance. There is no forgiveness. He's just too ruthless. Okay, too ruthless to not fall. Too many cracks in this foundation. Too many cracks in this armor. All right. So we're both witnessing the journey of both the Cobra Sensei and the student, Hulk. Okay, we're watching Kreese go from here to down here, and that's what you see him as today with the Cobra wings and shit. Versus Hulk, who was beat down season two, and he just seeing him just come up like this. Okay, just like how God flat out tells you, well, he used Jesus to say this. Okay, that when something dies, it grows. Like how Jesus say that he's the wheat. And I forgot exactly how they said it, but since I'm fluent, I don't want to pause this to try to find exactly how they said it on Google. But look for it yourself. Okay, he's just basically saying for something to grow, it has to die. The seed has to die in order for it to grow. Okay, just like we have to humble ourselves before God. Okay, and the person that we was yesterday is dead because we're becoming more righteous through learning. This is what Hulk going through. Okay, it's just interesting to see how this parallels. Season 3 is interesting. All right. But we also have to realize that bad seeds also die to become bad seeds as well. And it's a lot of characters in here in season 2 that's either slowly dipping down here and there's some that's doing like this and then ended up here. Okay. And I'm just going to use this Kung Fu Panda analogy real quick. When the dude basically was talking about, look, this seed is going to grow up into this type of tree or whatever. It's the same thing. Okay, and that's just ultimately what it is, just showing you in a complex way through some karate. Okay, and drama and some karate shit. All right, this shit here deep, though. And that's all I got to say for this rant. And this has been the Negro Ninja, bringing you your Negro message for today, Negro out.